A few months ago, I'd managed to hurt my knee on some mountain hiking, and I'd been off the hills for a few months trying to let my knee recover. And last week, I went up Stack Polly, a small mountain, and everything seemed fine, so after a heavy snowfall I thought I'd try my knee out again, but on a slightly more demanding hill. Nothing too bad, but I headed out after an early start to try and get the best of the weather. So here I am, in the car park, getting ready to set off up the hill. But was I going to be biting off too much? Let's see what happens. Good morning, folks. It's early. It is just past 6 AM and I was up at 4:30 this morning, and I'm hoping to get up a mountain this morning. Third time lucky, not in terms of this mountain, but third time lucky in getting to the summit in the next few weeks, which I'll talk about in a wee while. But for the time being, I need to get my sacks packed away, get my bag packed, get enough food, and I'll report back in the dark on the trail in a wee bit. So yeah, I'll see you in a minute. So with sunrise still about an hour and a half away, I set off in the dark with my head torch on and heading uphill looking for some of that white stuff, and it was starting to look quite promising. As the higher I got, the more snow there was on the ground. I was getting quite excited. Whew. Right, I'll turn this off so I'm not blinding you. So, I mentioned in the van, hopefully this is third time lucky, and I'm talking about my knee. As you know, if you watched last week's video, I went up Stack Polly. I didn't make it to the true summit, but my knee was a little better, and then about 6 weeks ago I tried to go up a summit and just failed miserably because my knee wasn't ready. So this week, after last week, the knee has been feeling really quite good actually. So we'll see today. Today's going to be the big test. It's not a big day, but it's a bigger day than Stack Polly. I've got my heavier pack on, my heavier boots, and there's snow on the ground, which will make it a wee bit tougher as well. Yeah, so I'm going to head up here. I don't think I'm going to make it for sunrise, but I don't even know if I'll make the top at all. But yeah, I'm just hoping my knee's going to be okay. I've also got my orange trousers on, and I've made a slight modification to them, and I was going to talk about that at the end of the video. So if you want to know what the slight modification is, hang around till I'm back at the van, because I can't show you when I'm on the hill. That may be giving a wee bit away. So anyway, right, let's go on a bit further, and yeah, I'll report back when I'm on the open hillside. Let's go. Whew. Right, a quick update. That's me up on the open hillside and out the forest. And it's lovely and snowy. But I tell you what, I'm glad of that, and that's one of the reasons I came today. There was a big fall of snow, a big dumping of snow across Scotland yesterday, and even back where I live, which is maybe 40 miles to the south of here, there was a fair bit of snow. And as well as testing my knee out, I thought, oh, I want to get out and enjoy some of the white stuff. So I'm glad that there is some. You can probably see it round about me. I don't know if you can make it out. Hills are all white, but everything was looking good. I left the house this morning, first thing. It was icy back home. In fact, the snow was still on the windscreen from yesterday, so there was still a wee bit of snow back home. So I thought, oh, it's going to be great. There's going to be loads of snow up here, and I was actually a bit worried about the drive off the main route and up to where you park the car here, because you go up a wee kind of country lane, and if there's a lot of snow, it can be a bit icy. Anyway, I needn't have worried. Coming up the main road, maybe about halfway, the snow disappeared, and I was like, oh no, there's not going to be any snow. And it's very unusual. Usually up into the Highlands you get more snow, but I'm not sure what's happened. I don't know if you can see behind me down in the strath or in the glen, it's actually green down there, but if you go further down towards where I live, it's white. Anyway, there is snow, which is good. So absolutely lovely. The first signs of dawn are coming over here. Oh, it looks like there's a nice wee bit of pink in the sky. the moon's setting over my shoulder and I'm heading up over here. So yeah, I'm going to shut up now and we'll get cracked on a wee bit further. My knee's okay at the moment, but we're not in the steep part yet. So let's get up to the steep part and I'll report back there. Right, let's go. A little while later, I decided to stop and put my gaiters on because there was some parts of the path which had drifts of snow across them. And being so early, nobody had been up the hill since the snowfall yesterday, so I was breaking trail. And to be honest with you, I was actually thinking if the snow was that deep down here, what the heck was it going to be like further up the hill? That will soon become apparent. Anyway, gaiters on, and I headed on up the hill just as the sun was starting to rise, and boy, it was looking like the sunrise was going to be a special one. And I wasn't wrong with that, as you'll soon see. Yeah, alpine glow. Wow, fantastic. What a sight. I need to get moving. Look at that. Oh man, damn it. Well, you can probably tell I'm out of breath. The sun has literally just come up and it's now illuminating the mountain that I'm headed up if I get there. But about 5 minutes ago, I couldn't quite get this view and the whole mountain was pink. The alpine glow and the clouds here were all fantastic colours. So I hope I did a bit to camera when I was walking past. I was in that much of a rush. I'm not sure if I actually managed to capture it. I really hope I did. But I've just missed the best of the colour here, where the best photograph and the best bit to camera would have been, but hey ho. When I realised and I started, I tried to run, but I was still being careful of the knee. But I was just on the leeward side of a slope, so as opposed to this nice shallow snow, it was all blooming knee deep stuff. Oh my god. I think I was about to have a heart attack trying to get here, but hopefully I caught a wee bit of it. It's a shame I never got to this point, but yeah, that's what happens when you've got a sore knee and the snow is deep in places. So I'm going to shut up now, get along here. I'll do a bit to camera just before the steep pool. There's a wee lock-in just over this rise here, so I'll stop there and report back then. Right. As you can see, the early morning light was just fabulous. It's been a while since I've seen the alpine glow in the mountains as good as that. It was just beautiful. And soon the sun was up and that pinky hue had disappeared and we were getting the blue skies with the contrasting white snow. And those drifts were getting deeper and deeper in places. And yeah, it was wading through them at points. I was certainly glad that I'd put the gaiters on. Trail breaking can be a real test. Anyway, I soon passed the lock-in and was heading up the steeper part of the hill. And as predicted, the snow was getting deeper and deeper. There was a wee bit of wind up here, so it was getting wind blown. None of it was consolidated, and it was all soft, powdery snow, which sounds great, but my god, the effort you have to put in is 10 times more than the normal path. And this was really going to be testing my knee out. It was going to be testing it out more than I had expected, that was for sure. I'll tell you what. This is providing a really good test for my knee. So as you can see, I'm breaking trail. I think I'm going into a wee stream there. And there's nothing. Oh, Christ. Yeah, there's a stream there. Sorry, I'm going to have to watch where I'm going. Yeah, I'm breaking trail. Whenever you have to do that, I don't know, this has taken 3 or 4 times the the length of time that I thought it was going to take me. Well, I knew that if the snow was soft and deep, which it is, it would take me longer, so I have factored that in. Plenty of time for me to get up there. But anyway, I'm on the mountain now, the main part of the mountain. Oh God. I'm just seeing how far down my pole's going. On the main part of the mountain now, and it does look, it's a bit breezier up here, and I can see the clouds are scudding across the summit. So it's going to be breezy up there, so I might go on a bit further, try and get out of the breeze before summiting and put another couple of layers on, but that might take me a bit of time yet, because this is tough work. Oh, right, I need to make sure I'm missing that stream. Oh, Jesus, that's a long way down there. I think there's a stream down here. I can hear water. The other thing about this is you can't really follow the path, and when you do follow the path, because it's all soft snow, it tends to fill in and it's deeper in the path. So anyway, enough complaining. Let's go. I was only about a third of the way up the steeper part of the route, and I must admit I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about turning around, because it was tough going. Oh, anyway, I got to a spot, the wind was kind of picking up a wee bit, so as I mentioned, it was time to just layer up and get the hard shell on before heading on, because I knew when I got, or if I got to the summit, the wind was going to be howling and it would be a lot colder. Right, I've not got my microphone on, so hopefully you can hear me okay. That's where I'm going up behind me there, that's the top of the mountain. But down here where I've come, at the kind of base, and the soft snow, it's making it really hard, so I've come onto the ridge where it's a bit more wind blowing and the snow isn't quite so deep. So if you can see that or not. And I'm going to aim and try and follow the ridge line up and round to the summit, get on the skyline there. Might be a bit longer, but I think this, where the path goes, it drops in behind the summit, and I think it'll be really deep there. Really deep, swimming snow, so I'm hoping by staying on the ridge, it may be a wee bit less deep and a bit easier. The knee is still fine, my fitness isn't, so I'm just taking my time and plodding up here, so yeah, let's go. That's where I'm heading. Up here, onto the skyline there, up and round, and up to there. Hopefully. Well, following the skyline and the ridge, well, it kind of worked a wee bit, but as you can see from here, there was still a lot of bits where the snow was, well past my knees, and it was tough going. Although my knee was okay at this point, didn't feel too bad, but I was working hard and my legs were really sore. But the fine views and the pristine snow, the blue skies kept me going as I headed up, trying to get to the top of the mountain. Right, just a handheld bit here, look at that, there's a summit behind me. Just over there. So pristine and white and bright. I followed the ridge, start again. I followed the ridge line round. It was still really deep in places, but up here it's the best it's been. There's some firmer snow, but I still think I'll be wading for a bit, but I think another 15-20 minutes I'll be standing on the top of the mountain, so let's go. Absolutely beautiful, not a footstep to be seen. I sometimes wish there were. That would have saved me the hard work of breaking trail, but anyway, that's where I'm headed up there. Just there. So. Oh, let's go. As I finally reached the summit ridge, the deep snow subsided as the wind had scoured it, and it was a lovely, lovely feeling getting my feet and my boots onto harder ground. And before long, I was approaching the frozen summit of Ben Vrackie, a favourite hill of mine, and I was feeling good. Woo! The summit I've made it, and this is the summit of Ben Vrackie. Got the camera right on the summit cairn where there's a dial that shows you when it's cleared of frost anyway. Can't remember what you call them, but it tells you which mountains are which. Anyway, I came to test my knee, and I've certainly done that, and I came to find snow, and my God, I wish there wasn't so much snow. That was a real, yeah, it was a real workout. It makes such a difference. I've said this hundreds of times before, but Ben Vrackie, I think the last time I was up here, I had my wife and kids just for a summer stroll, and yeah, it didn't take long. There was no issues with finding the path. It's a nice, easy route, but like any mountain in Scotland, when it's winter, or especially when there's snow on the ground, there's no path, and it was tough going coming up there. It was a good workout. My knee, I can feel it a wee bit. Like I've always said, I'll report back at the van because it's going downhill, which is going to be the big test. But look at this behind me. Don't know if you can make over. This mountain behind me is Ben Vrackie, and it's a fantastic mountain in this part of the world. Over here I can see down towards Schiehallion, Ben Lors, Glen Lyon. I can see as far as Glencoe today, then up to the Drogheda Hills, and then further south I can see the one patch of green, which is what I was talking about before, which is down by Pitlochry. And even beyond, down towards Fife, it's all white. It's just this one wee bit, which is strange. So yeah, I'm going to sharp now. I'm going to take a wee bit of time, enjoy the summit. I'm going to go back round the same way I came, because as I said, the path up, where the path usually is, it's in a dip, and the snow does accumulate there even in normal winters, but because there's been so much snow, I think I'll be swimming through it. So I'm going to head back round the way I came. So yeah, let's just sit here for a while, enjoy it. Never disappoints, this hill. It's a great wee hill, love it. Right, I'm taking some photos, and I'm going to descend down out this wind, because the wind is to drop later on, but it is a wee bit breezy. Maybe 10, 15 miles an hour, nothing too bad, but enough to enough to get cold when you're stopped. So I'm going to head back down the way I came and just enjoy this. Absolutely glorious. Right, let's go. Enjoy this. Well, I've probably put the kiss of death on it there. As soon, in fact, during these scenes here, as soon as I started heading downwards on the descent, my knee started to hurt. I could feel it. It wasn't as bad as it had been previously, but it was causing me concern, let's put it that way. And I was really disappointed. Yeah, not as bad as it had been on the descent off Kisti Dhu, but I was in a wee bit of pain and keen to get back to the van. But yeah, apart from that, the views were fine. It was fantastic. The snow had provided a hard test, and yeah, I was looking forward to my coffee and the warmth of my van. Oh, right. Back at the van, and I have a coffee, which is really good. I really need that. And just an update, my knee was a wee bit sore coming down, worse than it was in Stack Poly, unfortunately. So maybe I just need to build up slowly again, and maybe give it another few weeks rest. Certainly wasn't nearly as bad as it was when I was coming off the Glen Shiel hills. Anyway, as I said, back in the van, got my coffee. I was going to quickly show you my accessories, but before I do that, I'll show you what layers I had on, just if you're interested. I know some people have asked me about this. So you can see on my way down I had my gilet on. I'm doing a bit of striptease here. Gilet. And I've got my orange and blue mammoth base layer here. Now, when it was colder going up the hill, first thing, I did have another jacket, my Jotner kind of fleecy jacket, mid layer, over the top of these two. And then right at the top I had my hard shell on as well. So that's t-shirt, this, gilet, yeah, 4 or 5 layers. But it's the best way to do it, I find. Anyway, the accessory I was going to tell you about is for my trousers. Oh, they've failed. I've got some braces, look. Now one's come off though. Let me try and fix that. I did think it was riding up slightly. So yeah, I bought some braces for my Revolution Race trousers, and they've worked okay. Well, obviously not, they've just failed, haven't they? So obviously to do a bit of work on that, but yeah, just to let you know, that's what was missing from these trousers, was my braces. So I've bought a set. I think they're Rab braces. They weren't cheap. They're about 20 quid, maybe more than that. Anyway, right, that is the video coming to an end. Glad I went out. Good test for the knee. Got some snow. Knee's still not quite right. let's see what happens. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you on the next adventure. Right, finish this coffee and then back home.